Hi, I'm Rocco Staino, and we're on KidLit TV today with Ellen Myrick from Publisher Spotlight. Welcome back, Ellen.
Thank you, Rocco. It's great to be back.
Yes, and so what exactly are we going to be doing today?
Well, today we're going to be talking about 50 different books.
Did you say 50?
50, yeah. Yeah, and 25 different publishers.
Ah, well, I know what some of the books are, but I want them to know what the books are.
Yes, so we should get started. But you know what? This is a good time to remind people, comment during this live stream, and you might win a selection of the books that we're talking about today.
When you say comment right there on the website.
Comment, yeah.
Right there.
I think it's right there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
somewhere like that.
Yes, and if you want to go on to social media, we have a hashtag.
We do. Hashtag Pub Spotlight Spring 22. If you want to join 2022, if you want to join in the conversation in social media, yeah.
Right. Yes. Well, that is so somebody can actually win these.
Yeah, for sure.
Books. Okay, and let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. We have books to go through. So let's start off with something beautiful, shall we? Here we are with When the Sakura Bloom. This is from Berbay Books in Melbourne, Australia. And the author is Narisa Togo. And I did not realize, I knew that Japanese cherry blossoms were a thing, but I did not realize that the entire country pretty much shuts down when the cherry blossoms are in bloom. And this takes you through the cultural history as well as some of the natural history and does it in a beautiful lyrical language and with illustrations that, you know, if you're not going to have a beautiful book about cherry blossoms, just don't go there. But look at this. Isn't this just absolutely stunning? And that's when they're just beginning to bloom. And then school shuts down when cherry blossoms. And the beginning of the school year is as the cherry blossoms are, you know, peaking. So that is when their school year is dictated by. And then you have the beautiful, beautiful trees the rest of the year. So this is When the Sakura Bloom. It is available now, just now available, just in time for a blossoming tree near you.
Yes, but you know, Japan's not the only people that the Japanese aren't the only people that celebrate.
No, a lot of people celebrate.
Right,
yes.
like in Washington, D.C. in April.
Yeah.
People come to see
Nashville, Tennessee.
Right.
Hey, are we going to do a thing where every time we talk about a different country, we're going to do a check?
That's right. So we started with Japan.
So we've done
right.
Japan
yes.
and D.C.
Yes, so here we go. But
all right.
yes, so this is a new publisher, Red Comet Press. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, Red Comet Press. This is only their second season this spring, and this was started by Angus Ewan Killick, who anybody in the children's book world knows Angus. He's been around for a while. Has worked at Disney and Macmillan and DK and Penguin and all the places. But now he's got his own publishing house, and we are so excited to be working with him and featuring these amazing books.
Right, and there's a series, it's the Really Bird series, and we have two books right here. I Really Want to Be First. And
is that the one you relate to?
Yeah, this is the one.
Kind of feels
yes,
like, yeah.
It is, because I always want to be first. That's why I started the show, and now, yes, and so it reminds me of another picture book series that has a bird in it.
Yeah, easy reader.
Yeah. If you think you know what that is, you could comment,
put it in the comment,
and then you could be eligible to win this book. But anyway,
if you really, really want the Really Birds, you should comment.
Yes, you know. So here we have. There is Really Bird right there up top, and he says, "Jump up, pup, hug the tree, pull yourself up, pup, front leg, then back." Front legs, then back. And so there is that poor pup trying to climb a tree. Yeah, so I relate to this book. And
I relate to the next one.
I really want a bigger piece
of chocolate.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think that's part of the actual title.
No, but
yeah.
Anyway, so Really Bird, if you want to, and there's going to be a third one, I understand.
Yeah, the next one's going to go into outer space in the fall. So.
Yes, and they are so reasonably priced. You can get 2 books for, you know, almost under $25. So, you know, yes, you never know. So it's $12.99. So put that on your shopping list.
There you go. Do you really, really want some easy readers? And this is a wonderful book also from Red Comet Press. My Dad is a Grizzly Bear. So this is a story, and I need to call out the creators on this. Swapna Hadao is British Indian, and Depo Adiola is from Nigerian extraction. And here we have a family, a really diverse family, and I love this kid who says, is just so convinced that his dad is a grizzly bear because he does all the grizzly bear things. You know, he likes to eat, he likes to nap, he likes to go through the forest. I can almost see this being paired with going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one, but in this case, the bear is with them. And then, in what is a lovely, lovely little twist at the end, you see what the dad actually looks like. Because the best thing about a bear is a bear hug. So there you go. And just going back to that early one, you get a little sneak peek. If you look in the mirror, little foreshadowing of what the grizzly bear dad looks like. So perfect one to share, not just at Father's Day, but all year round. And what a great, father-son story to share, father-daughter too. It's just really fun. So this is My Dad is a Grizzly Bear. And so you've got something from Pajama Press.
I do, Pajama Press.
In Canada.
Yes, well, it's in Canada, but this book takes place in Afghanistan, right?
It does.
Yes, and during conflict, and we have our character here is a young girl who...
But you know what, Rocco?
Yes.
I really want to talk about Whistling for Angela first.
Okay, well, you do that.
So can I do that? Thank you, because
Yes.
the segue was so good. Because it went from a dad to a family.
Yes.
And of course, that's a family too. But this is a family that is looking to adopt another child.
Right.
And so
Yes.
this is Whistling for Angela. And this is about a big brother, soon-to-be big brother, and his family. And he just dreams of getting his little sister. And he loves birds. So he thinks that he's going to give a gift to his sister of learning how to whistle. Do you know how to whistle?
Let me see. I don't know.
So maybe you need the advice of the birth mother in this, where she teaches the little boy how to whistle, because he is having the hardest time actually getting a whistle. And she can tell he wants to whistle for her and to sing to her, but he can't do it trying so hard. Look at these illustrations. Oh my goodness, how cute is that? And then the mom, who is very sad, and I love the fact that the little brother is trying to be helpful, and she tells him that if you want to learn how to whistle, you think that you put your lips together like you're sucking out a lemon, and make your mouth very, very small, and then you have this lovely letter from the little brother to the birth mother. And it's just a wonderful story. There are a lot of books about adoption, but not that many where it's an open adoption, which I think makes this possible. And in the end, you know what? He learns how to whistle. Yeah, can you do it?
I'll keep practicing.
All right. So now let's go to Afghanistan.
Yes, and a sky blue bench. And we mentioned that it takes place in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is that there is a seal on this book, and it says the Snyder Family Book Award Honor Book. And so that's an award that's given out by the American Library Association.
It is. ALSC, I think.
Yes, yeah, for a particular type of book.
Right. Books that celebrate differently abled people.
Differently abled people. And our main character is differently abled. She has a helper leg.
I love the way they say that too, a helper leg. It doesn't
Yes.
say, I have a prosthesis. That's
Right.
a hard word for kids. It's a hard word for adults.
Right.
But a helper leg communicates what you need to know.
Yes, and but it makes it difficult for her to actually sit on the floor at school.
Yeah, because they don't have any desks or
Right.
chairs because
Yeah,
they're
right.
in a refugee camp, right?
Right. Yes, but she's a very creative young girl, and she, with the help of a carpenter, yes, creates her own chair. But
bench,
a bench, right? Yes, and the other interesting thing is that there is a illustration here, and you were mentioning the brother in the earlier story, and there is a brother here, and it's always great to look carefully at the illustrations, because I'm going to be looking carefully at other illustrations in other books. And he has a book, and it's called The Library Bus. So the library bus just happens to be another book from the same author.
Yeah, by Bahram Rahman.
Yeah.
And that was on the Rise list this year, which is a book that celebrates the achievements of women.
Yes, and well, this is a very industrious young lady
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Yes,
totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so and now Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, Japan, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
so putting
So-
that right on the list.
So next on our list is a book that originated from the British Isles about another industrious young girl. So this is called The Can Caravan, and it's from Child's Play, and it's by Richard O'Neill, who does a lot of books that celebrate the traveler community in the British Isles. In this case, it's a community that is all different ages, and this girl notices that an older member of the community, her caravan is starting to kind of peel away at the top, and it's no longer safe for her, no longer can keep her dry. So the powers that be are going to make her live in an assisted living facility. She doesn't want to do that. If you've been in a traveling community, you don't want to do that. So she puts on her thinking cap, she mobilizes the community, she does a drive for aluminum cans, she designs a new skin for the caravan, gets a local company to donate the effort to manufacture it, and it's just a wonderful story about community service, about intergenerational relationships, STEM, a lot of STEM, because she designs the new skin for the caravan, and just as a wonderful celebration of how people come together to help each other. And that's the Can Caravan from Child's Play.
STEM. Did you
STEM.
mention STEM?
I mentioned STEM.
And did you mention Child's Play?
I did.
Yes, well, we'll continue with Child's Play
Okay.
and STEM because we have Rosa Explores, which is a whole series of STEM-based books. And so we have Rosa Explores the Life Cycle and Rosa Explores the Water Cycle. So it is a very educational book. The pages are
It's transitional.
transitional,
So they're thick,
right, yes.
and they've got rounded corners.
Right. And so it actually will take us through the whole cycle from tadpole to frog. So very educational book for young children, and as we said, STEM-paced from Child's Play.
Yeah, and these are such good companions for their boat experiment, pizza experiment books that they did last season. So yeah, Rosa. And the other thing I love about the Rosa books is the diverse cast of characters, but also, again, they have differently abled people throughout there, and it's a really authentic experience. So there may be somebody with a hearing aid, there may be somebody who is on the spectrum, and everything is very true to somebody who would have that experience. So, and it normalizes it, so kids can see themselves, they can see their friends, all portrayed in the books of Rosa's Workshop, which is pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and our next publisher is Sakura Books, based in the UK. Sakura has just been knocking it out of the park with their nonfiction books. So how many senses do you have?
I was told, so on the good day, I have 5.
Well, you know what? You have more. You have
I do.
7. You have 7. Did you know that there is a vestibular sense?
Vestibular.
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 Yes,
Vestibular.
and
I love this. I always learn something
Right.
on these programs.
And also you have a sense of proprioception.
Okay.
So proprioception is that thing that when somebody is behind you, and they're not making, rabbit ears behind your head, but you can tell, you can sense something's going on. It's kinesthesia.
Do we all have that?
We all have it.
We do.
Yeah. And that is just part of what is covered in cat eyes and dog whistles, the 7 senses of humans and other animals. The illustrations in here are so much fun, and it's just lots of different points of entry. So for those nonfiction kids, this is a book they're going to love. And you know what? Anybody's going to learn something from this. I learned about the vestibular system.
Yes.
And I learned about proprioception, which is a word I try to drop in as many conversations as possible right now.
Proprioception, what is that?
It's that sense that something's going on.
Behind you.
Yeah, behind you
But
or
what's
around you.
vestibular?
You'll have to read the book to find out. I can't give away all the secrets.
Oh, okay. Well, I
didn't
just
say
thought-
spoiler alert.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So I have a book called The Map of You. Yes, and it's a journey of self-discovery, and it starts right here. Yes, so this is a book that, parents you know, when you have a newborn, you take out something called, I don't know if they still have baby books, but
They do.
Where you just kind of track what's happening.
Baby's first steps.
Yes, right, roll over, yes.
I don't know anybody who did more than 3 pages of those books my age.
Yes, right. Yeah, but it does come in handy from being a new grandfather, because my daughters want their baby books so they can see how their children are doing compared to them. Yes.
You know, this is a good time to say, comment below if you want to see a picture of Rocco's grandbaby, so that we can say, we're not going to show that right now.
No. But the map of you starts out with them filling out, you know, name, date of birth, where I live, where I was born, your eye color.
Let's show them.
Yes.
I've seen it.
You've seen it, yes. So anyway, they can fill that out. But also, it is a book that helps children kind of express themselves, you know, and you know, they're like a comfort zone, but there's different activities, yes, and like, why aren't my things? Oh,
there it is.
There it is. A fun
much.
activity,
Yeah.
a message in a bottle. I know that we all have done that once in our lives. If you live near a body of water, is to write a message and put it in the bottle. And sometimes if you do a little research, you can actually find stories about people who have found bottles with messages and who have actually contacted the person, but sometimes it's like years and years later. Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, so this is a very active book. Lots of activities in this book.
So much to do. And actually, the next book you've got over there is another activity book.
Yes.
And that is What Can I Do from Agnes and Aubrey, which is also based in the UK.
Another, okay, I'm going to be talking about being a grandparent, but this is a great book for grandparents to have at home, just in case when they're...
And parents and caregivers and teachers and librarians.
Right, and all those people.
Yeah, all those people.
Anybody that deals with children.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is a great book because it, as we said, it has inspiring activities for creative kids. And so one of the fun ones is draw a narwhal. Yes, that's very popular. Yes.
Narwhals are hot.
They are, yes.
Yeah.
And then we have, keeping a journal.
Yeah.
But, another one. Make a time capsule. What would you put in a time capsule?
I think I'd put a mask.
I would put a pencil because, you know, I will say, what is this thing? Pencil. Or,
Would you write a message in cursive because nobody can read
cursive,
it? Yeah,
right.
yeah.
No, I wouldn't because they wouldn't be able.
That's right.
Or I would write it in cursive and then explain what it is. Yeah.
Translate below.
Yeah, translate below, yes. So a time capsule. And so if you comment what you would put in a time capsule, you become eligible to
win that copy.
These books.
You know, I've shown this to lots of librarians, and this is like a perfect programming book. If you've got oops, I need to do something, everybody's in the library today, it's a rainy day, what can we do? Draw a map of a new country, invent your own country.
Invent your own country.
So many different things you can do.
Yes, and the public, we talked about
Agnes and Aubrey.
Yeah, from the UK.
I love these books that really help a kid explore creativity.
Yes.
And another one that does that is from Kristen Books. And that is called What Can I Do? It's called Map. What Do You See? So many what books. What do you see from Kristen Books? And this one is by Barney Salzberg and Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, that Jamie Lee Curtis. They were having this really fun conversation in pictures. She would send him a picture and then he would take it because Barney Salzberg is like the guy on creativity. And he would draw something completely unexpected on that picture. So it's a conversation in pictures. It's a great inspiration for kids to think about things in different ways. It's just going to be great. We don't have a copy to show you yet. It should be here really soon. Probably it will arrive tomorrow because that's the way these things always work. But certainly check out What Do You See from Kristen Books. And the next book from Kristen Books, because Kristen is so good at picture book biographies. In fact, the last time we were together, Rocco, you interviewed Evgenia, who was the illustrator of Queen to the Rescue. It's a picture book biography of one of the greatest calligraphers in history. And when he was a child, his father was a very famous calligrapher. And he was like, Dad, how do I get to be as good as you at calligraphy? And he said, well, son, When you fill 18 vats of water with the water you've rinsed from your brushes, then you will be a calligrapher. And not only did this child grow up to become a famous calligrapher, but he established a whole new way of doing calligraphy, one-stroke calligraphy. So, Maria Shea is the illustrator. It's gorgeous, 18 vats of water.
18 vats
18 vats of water, that's what it takes. Aren't you glad you know that now?
Well, I know that, and I now know who Sandor Katz is.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks to Readers and Eaters. Tell us about Readers and Eaters.
Readers to Eaters.
Yes. Readers to Eaters, but Readers and Eaters too.
I mean, they probably
Readers to Eaters.
Yeah,
Yes,
it all works
yes,
together.
Yes.
Readers to Eaters was founded about a decade ago by Philip Lee, who also you may know from Lee and Low Books. He was one of the founders of that. And he has books that are about food literacy and celebrate food heroes. So he loves to do these biographies of somebody who is really famous in a very specific way, like Chef Roy Choi in the Street Food Remix.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and this is by the same team.
Yes, and Sandor Katz is a food scientist. Right, and until I read this book, I always think of fermenting more for like wine or things like that.
Oh.
But there are so many foods that
no heat cooking is a thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you ferment foods, and then there is sauerkraut is one of the things that we all know that needs to
Pickles.
be pickles, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but then we have Crouchy-licious. Yes, and the best part about this is that, there are many good parts, is that there is, I have it marked right here somewhere, there is picture you on Sandor Crouchy crew, being part of his crew, and you have a recipe right there in the back right there. And he's from your neck of the woods.
He is. Well, now he is. I mean, he's from this neck of the woods up in New York, and then he moved to Tennessee.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's very active in the LGBT community, too.
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an activist.
Yes, an activist.
So much to admire, and he's just a really interesting guy, and has amazing facial hair.
Amazing facial hair. Well, I have very little facial hair, but I don't have too much head hair, but that's okay. We won't go into it.
We still love you.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, speaking of people who are heroes,
Yes.
if you had to pick a librarian who is a hero, who would you pick?
Okay. Besides me, okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, present company accepted.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, there is that, that famous librarian, Nancy Pearl.
That's right.
Yes.
Do you have the action figure?
I do.
I have the action figure too.
Yes, that Nancy Pearl action figure.
Yes, so there is a new book.
Oh, no, and I've met Nancy Pearl. Have you?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 2 degrees of Nancy Pearl?
She was, early in her career, she was the director of a Center for the Book, and I am currently the director of the New York Center for the Book. So we have, besides being librarians, we have that in common too. But there are no action figures of me.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Yes.
Maybe that's to come. So Nancy Pearl is the nation's librarian in many ways. She is a regular featured speaker on NPR, and she's wrote Book Crush and Book Lust, and she's just, when people want to know what to read, Nancy Pearl is the go-to person. So she has there's a new picture book biography of her written by her best friend called Library Girl. And I don't have the whole book to show you right now, but I can tease you with this great looking cover. And it is going to be so much fun. And it's just makes my heart happy that we have a book celebrating Nancy and her impact and her commitment to imagination and literacy and getting people excited about reading. So, yeah.
Yes.
And that's from Little Bigfoot, which is the children's imprint of Sasquatch.
Sasquatch,
Of course.
Yes.
I mean, if you're going to have a children's imprint of Sasquatch, what else are you going to call it?
And I have a Little Bigfoot.
You do have a Little Bigfoot book.
And also about a real person.
Yeah.
And as
another picture book biography.
Picture book biography. And as I mentioned, I always enjoy doing this because besides visiting all these countries where these books are published, I also learned something. So, and this picture book biography, The Heart of the Storm, the biography of Sue Bird, the basketball player.
Ooh, WNBA fans, take note.
Yes. And I found out so many interesting things about Sue Bird. You know, it says that she grew up in a small town on Long Island, but it doesn't tell you the town, but it does tell you the town.
Oh, the
because if
illustrator.
you look at the illustrations right here, it says Syosset Sporting Goods. Syosset Sporting Goods. And Syosset is the town where my wife grew up. So that is one thing. And then it talks about the high schools he went to, which was Christ the King High School on Long Island. And I know many, many people that went to Christ the King High School.
I hope they all buy this book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone on Long Island, you have to get a copy of this book. But
Or
any basketball fan and athlete, yes.
Women who
strong
athletes
women,
who like
yes.
strong athletic women.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so so that is this book.
Yeah,
yes.
and it's part of their Growing to Greatness series, and they show the hero, growing through her childhood and how she found her thing and then grew into that and became this legendary basketball player.
Right. Yes.
So Sue Bird,
Sue Bird.
She's really got it.
You know, we have people here interviewing. We should have tried to get Sue Bird to come in and share
I'm
the
very
book.
happy with who we have
Oh,
coming
yes,
in.
yes.
Yeah.
No, but yes.
You
And
just
next
want
time,
everybody.
I want everybody.
Yeah.
And we have all afternoon.
Why didn't we do this in Madison Square Garden?
That's right.
That would have been so
Oh,
nice for Sue Bird.
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
If only we had, but that's okay.
But talking about, okay, you
Well-
have one more book and then yes.
We have story time.
Yes.
So, who doesn't love a good story time, right? So, I'm excited to share with you.
Did you say, ah?
I think you just blasted the microphone.
The microphone,
a
yeah,
bit
a little,
there.
ah.
You have to do a stage whisper.
Okay.
So this is from Tapioca Stories, which is a new publisher. They're here in Brooklyn, but Yael Burstein is actually originally from Argentina, and most of the books she's doing are from Latin America. So if you're looking for a publisher who's doing books from Latin America that are just interesting and beautiful and cool, then Tapioca Stories is a great place to start. They're being distributed here by Baker & Taylor Publisher Services, and let's do a short story time. So this is by Guilherme Karsten, who is Brazilian. So here we go. A minute ago, this was the tallest mountain in the world. Was a minute ago, because do you want to help me with the
Okay.
Okay. You can see why this would be great for story time. Get the kids screaming as loud as possible. If you don't annoy the grown-ups, what's the point of story time? A minute ago, there was only the North Pole and the South Pole. Was a minute ago. And now we've got a middle pole. A minute ago, this was the biggest tiger in the world. Was a minute ago. Now it is the biggest stripeless tiger in the world. Planet Earth has been taken over by a very noisy noise. So noisy that some people have been left deaf and others with a stutter. The music of the radio is drowned out by the roaring sound. The blast has sent cars, animals, and bystanders flying left and right. Supercomputers with mega powers and a million flashing lights are working to trace the source of the noise. Meanwhile, the piercing sound launches fierce tidal waves and rouses sleeping volcanoes. You can see all the things happening in every single page. Scientists have used super satellites with telescopes and thousands of shockwaves to confirm it is not an alien invasion. To everyone's surprise, the ear-splitting ruckus seems to be coming from right here on planet Earth. So then everybody is trying to come together to find out where the sound is coming from, and they're circling, they're getting closer and closer, and finally they open the door. Easy there, son. This won't hurt at all. Scream any louder and the neighbors will hear. Ding dong. Wow, Papa. I had no idea we had so many neighbors. And that is the end of Okay, well, thank you for that story time. If you'd like to win a copy of and others, then please do comment below and follow the conversation at Pub Spotlight Spring 2022.
And also share on social media with the
Yes.
hashtag.
Well, Pub Spotlight Spring 2022. Were you testing me? You were
Yes, I
testing
was.
me.
I was testing me.
Thanks.
Yes.
I think I passed.
Yes.
But right now we're going to take a little break and watch a really cool book trailer. So this is from It's Up to Us from What on Earth Books. And this is a book we talked about last time, and it's by Chris Lloyd, has a foreword by Prince Charles, and features the art of 33 different illustrators from around the world.
It's a beautiful book.
It's a gorgeous book, including Sydney Smith, who was just nominated for the Hans Christian Andersen today. So stay tuned and check it out.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Christopher Lloyd, and I'm a world history author. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to my new book called It's Up to Us, a children's terracotta for nature, people and planet. And the book is a collaboration with His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales and his charitable foundation, the Prince's Foundation. The story takes the reader on a journey through how nature is before there were people, and then it details the damage that people have had on the environment in the last few hundred years and what that means for the future of our planet. It finishes with a series of pledges inspired by the Prince of Wales's terracotta to help us understand what we can do to make life and the planet fit for the future.
You're not Ellen.
I am not.
No, you're Arielle Dance.
sure
Welcome,
am.
Arielle.
Thank you.
Yes, and some people call you Dr. Dance.
They sure do.
Yes. But you're the author of Dearest One.
I am.
So tell us about Dearest One.
So Dearest One is actually a love letter. It's a love letter from a grandparent or grandmother to a little one. And it's words of wisdom, it's affirmations, and they tell the little ones to be brave. And it can also be from any grown-up or someone you miss or you haven't seen in a while or someone who's passed on.
So what was your inspiration for writing the book?
So for me, I lost my grandmother before I was even born. I never got to meet her. And so I always wondered, what would she have said to me? And I really tried to put that into words. And so I hope that it kind of fills in those gaps for someone else.
Yes. Now, the illustrator of the book is?
Jenny Duke.
Yes. So what do you think of the illustrations?
Jenny did an amazing job. She captured things I didn't even know I was looking for. It's kind of like, we never spoke before the book was illustrated, but I knew what I saw, and she found a little brown child, not gender specific. She just created this child that I saw perfectly. She found the perfect curls and the rainbow spirit and sunflowers everywhere throughout the book.
Sunflowers.
I love
yes.
sunflowers,
So,
and she put them everywhere.
So there must be an illustration of sunflowers.
Oh, there are, definitely.
Well, show us.
Oh, sure.
It's clipped.
So, right about here. So right here, actually my favorite page of the book, it says, turn your face to the sun, which is one of the affirmations I love. But you see that the character is just looking up to the sun and sunflowers, 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 sunflowers. And I actually have a picture of myself very similarly. And again, I didn't tell Jenny, but I'm standing facing the sun, but my hands are like up to the sun. But same picture, but it's like me.
So this book is, people will say it's a picture book, but it's really for everyone, isn't it?
It's for everyone. I have read this to adults, and they're like, I needed that. These are the words I needed, because in the book it'll say, be gentle with yourself, or be brave even when you're scared, or dare to smile, or dance in the wind. And it's like, we can all do that. It doesn't matter how old you are. This is for kids ages 0 to 100. We can all take that advice.
Yes. Well, that is, and the publisher is Lantana.
Lantana Publishing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Is this your first book?
This is my first.
Oh, well, I am going to ask you to autograph the book.
Well, you're my first. This is my first autograph. You're witnessing history here.
This is history. and let's see, I think they, you can do it on the...
I'm going to do it right here.
Yeah, right, yes, there you go.
Well, history, okay?
And this is going to be part of the books that goes to the person who is lucky enough to win the whole package.
No.
Terrific.
Wonderful.
Yes, well,
Thank
you so much. Yes. So, and again, Dearest won. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Rocco. I'm
Yes.
so grateful to be here.
Well, let's see what we have coming up next. So remember to comment so you can have this and 50 or 49 other books. Yes. Moving right along. Oh, Ellen, where have
Hey,
you been?
I'm coming back.
Where have you been?
Yeah, she's pretty good. I was afraid I was going to lose my job there.
What do we do now?
Well, now you're going to tell us about the next book from Lantana.
Lantana. Oh, yes. The must-have mum. But that's the British.
That's the British one. The
Yeah.
one in the U.S. is going to say must have mom.
Must have mom.
Yes.
And I actually, when I read the book, I kind of saw myself as the mom, because this mom likes to go out to garage sales and thrift stores and pick up lots of different things and to repurpose those things, which is very good.
Upcycling?
Upcycling.
Yeah,
Yes. And so she is constantly upcycling things and changing things. And the young boy, the son in this, gets, the mom keeps changing things, and he's worried that she may want to change him. But it does have a happy ending, doesn't it? Yes. And so it is a very great book about mother and son relationship.
You know what? Something else I love about this book
What's
is
that?
the mom is in a wheelchair.
Yes.
But it never says, look, mom is in a wheelchair. It just normalizes that experience.
Right, exactly.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my must-have mom.
Yes, Lantana.
From Lantana Books.
And they're based?
They're based in the UK.
In the UK. Well, we
in
have
London.
a few in the UK,
Well,
so
Oxford.
we keep checking
Actually,
off those places.
they have people in Oxford and in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, so we could check off the
Yeah, we
Philippines.
just said the Philippines.
Yes,
So there goes
you
another
go.
one.
There you go.
There we go. And the next publisher is, you're going to show us a book from a publisher based in Scotland.
In Scotland.
So a little bit further north.
Yes.
Speaking of moms.
Flores. Yes, books, yes. And speaking of moms, and this book is beautiful. It's a beautiful book
stunning.
about mothers and motherhood.
Yeah.
And everyone should take a look at it. But it also, when I looked at it, I said, this would make a great either baby shower gift, or when you're going to see, I guess they call it a sip and see. Do you know what a sip and see is?
I've never heard of a sip and see.
Oh, a sip and see is when you invite people over to meet your baby, and you kind of sip, a little something and meet the baby. And so it's like a...
Clearly you're a new grandfather.
Yes,
This is why you know all this
this
stuff.
is an
Yes.
unveiling, yes, but there are beautiful, beautiful illustrations of mother and child, and one of the ones that I particularly like is this one right here. And
All of them are just stunning, and
yeah,
it's mothers
yeah,
from around the world.
from
and
around the world,
throughout
yes,
time.
yes, and throughout time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a lovely, lovely book from
Yeah.
Flores.
Yeah. And next up from Flores, we also have The Depth of the Lake and the Height of the Sky, which is a beautiful wordless picture book from South Korea. And this is a story that has been told lots of times about the city kid going to the countryside for the first time. But I don't think any has done so much with, I don't want to say so little, because they use all the different colors of the blues and grays here, but it is just absolutely stunning. So we see here the child in the city and, doing the usual things that city kids do, and then going to the place in the countryside that they're going to stay. And, is it going to be fun? I don't know. Looking outside and do I want to go explore? I don't know. But then finally being brave and going outside and exploring and finding the lake and diving in. And when you dive in, so many things can happen. You can find so many beautiful things. experience new experiences, make new friends, But anyway, this is just absolutely gorgeous. If you like wordless picture books, and I love wordless picture books, this is one you would definitely want to add to your collection. So, and that is from Flores.
Yes. Thank you.
And next up we have, nope. I have one that I can only tell you about, but we have the
Okay.
cover. And it's another book about mothers, and this is called Letters to Ami. And this takes place from in India, and it's from Kadadi Tales, based in Chennai. And what you see is letters from a daughter to a mother, remembering the city they both love, and the illustrations are just gorgeous. They are half photographs and half illustrated. At the end, you have a little bit of information about all the different sites of Delhi that you've seen through this. But you also learn at the end that the mother has passed away, and this is the child's way of honoring and remembering her mother. So it's a very touching story. It's beautifully done, and just another special, special book from Kadadi Tales in India. So, and I think you have another book about loss.
About loss, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's by Nube Ocho.
Nube Ocho, yeah.
And where are they based?
They're based in Madrid, Spain.
Madrid, another country, Spain, off our lists on our little traveling around the world with Publisher Spotlight. And yeah, so Pumpkin and Me, and you mentioned that it is about loss because Pumpkin is a family dog who does die, and the little girl whose dog it was is grieving. Yeah, it is
hard.
a loss, right? And you know, and it talks about grieving, and it also describes what it feels like to be overwhelmed with grief. And, you know, and one of the things is she describes it like an octopus, just entangling her. Yes, and so that's just one of the ways, you know, and her grandmother gives her advice about grieving, and you know, but it's also in Spanish, isn't it?
It is in Spanish, and all the books that they originate at Nube Ocho are in English and Spanish, and for the U.S. market, they do it in Latino Spanish rather than Castilian Spanish, which is what it would be done in Madrid. So these are done for Spanish speakers in the Americas, which I think is really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when, if you're in a library, you can order both copies.
You can order both, and you can even have a bilingual story time
right.
with this. They have several books every season that are in both languages.
Right.
So yeah, definitely something to check out.
Yeah, very needed book.
So Pequeillo
Yes.
in Spanish and Pumpkin and Me in English.
Pumpkin. Yes.
Yeah. And our next book we're going to talk about is from a little publisher in the UK that was started by two journalists from Tehran.
Oh, really?
Yes, called Tiny Owl. This book is called Human Town. So imagine you're an elephant, Rocco.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
Yeah, there you go. Hanging out with your elephant family, and you're trying to think of something fun to do with the family.
Okay.
So maybe you'll decide to go and visit Human Town.
Why not?
And see what's going on there. So let's see what the rules are in Human Town. You must not touch or feed the humans.
No.
You must keep to the paths at all times.
Right.
You must not trample buildings or other structures.
Okay.
No loud noises. No souvenirs. The hunting and eating of humans in this park is strictly prohibited. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the dad notes, we're vegetarians. It's okay. So those are the rules for Human Town, but the elephants go through and they see all the different things that humans are doing, and they see humans in our native habitat. And some of the things they're doing are not great for the planet and great for themselves. But here you can see them peeking in to see a typical human child watching a program about elephants. That's so meta, isn't it? Wow, my mind was just blown. And then they have a conversation. They go on a picnic. It's time to go home. I did warn you that it might not be very interesting, said Mom to the children that evening at bedtime. Mom, Dad said that humans will soon be extinct. Is that true? Asked Junior. I'm afraid so, especially if those big cats keep poaching them, Mom sighed with a shake of her big head. So it kind of makes you think about the whole thing from a different perspective, doesn't it? That's awful. Imagine a world with no humans. So Human Town is very fun, but also will make you think.
Yes. Well, that's
So-
good. Books should make you think.
Books should make you think. And no, I have one before that.
Okay.
Oh, no, slow down.
Okay.
Because we were talking about Human Town. Those were all the humans in one space, but here's all the humans around the world.
Ah, there you go.
Children of the world. So this is from 360 Degrees, which is an imprint of Tiger Tales that is for older readers and always has these really cool design elements. This is just an advanced copy, but it's just super, super cool. And what I love about this is it has, as I said, things from all around the world. You can learn how to say hello to children from around the world. And can you say hello in a foreign language?
Hola?
Very good. Yes, that's included. We
Yes.
have that. Habari. Habari is Swahili for hello. Turkish, merhaba, which would have been very handy when I took my cab here earlier today because my cab driver was from Turkey. But it has, foods around the world, and it's raining cats and dogs. We do have a theme of cats and
Dogs, right.
dogs here, cats and dogs. Going to bed, so many things to explore. It's by Nicola Edwards, who always brings the magic, and illustrations are by Andrea Stagmeyer. And I have not seen her other work, but this is just fabulous. So this is from 360 Degrees, and I think you've got another one there.
Yes, you
with all
mentioned
the bling.
360 Degrees and and their design.
Yeah.
And yes, and so we have, look at that size of this book. It is Hide and Seek History, Ancient Egypt, with more than 80, I say 80 flaps.
80 flaps.
A very busy book. I mean, a book, not a busy book, a book to keep you busy. Yes, and not only does it keep you busy, but you're learning things about ancient Egypt. And there are so many pages here, like if you want to learn what it was like, life on the Nile, you could pick up those flaps. But when you think of ancient Egypt, you think of different things. And and here's one called Famous Firsts. And when you open this up, they're like the first chair right there. Who knew? Who knew about ancient Egypt? But when you with furniture. But I am looking for my little clip about mummies, right? Oh, here it is.
He's lost his mummy.
I lost my mummy. Oh, mummy. Yes, and here we can learn about how they not how they made mummies, the process of embalmed mummies, and they lasted a very long time, and it's always interesting. Not only did they do that with people, but they also did it with pets. Yes, and there we have a cat. Yes, we have a cat theme too.
Yes, we do definitely have a cat theme going on
so
today.
it is a book that will keep you busy learning. Yes. So that is from 360.
They always bring the magic. And also from Tiger Tales, we have this series of books called The Mermaids Rock. And I have to say, I had these at AASL, the School Librarian Conference, and man, these were popular. These feature really diverse characters, and they also have subtle themes of environmental concerns. So in this, is it this one? Yes, this one they go to the Arctic Ocean, and we have a merboy, not just mermaid. So let's hear it for the merp guys. And then we have this one, which is about corals, the coral reef, and how to save the coral reef. And finally, we have this one that takes place in a kelp forest. But there are 6 of these, I think, so far. And these are illustrated as well. And they're really, just fun. Super, super fun. Circulate really, really well. Kids love them. And that is Mermaids Rock from Tiger Tales. But wait. I think it's time.
Time for?
Another story time.
Okay, great. Yes, I have, and this is from Tiger Tales, and it's called The Eyebrows of Doom. Yes, let us begin. The Eyebrows of Doom. I love books, especially for story time, where the children can take
Participatory?
yes.
Participatory.
Yes. in the woods, in a cave, a big bear named Dave was sweeping his floor with a broom when two clumps of hair leaped into the air and cried, "We are the eyebrows of doom." The eyebrows of what? Snorted Dave. "No, you're not. You're two slugs all covered in hair." But they laughed. "We'll show you what two eyebrows can do." And just look what they did to the bear. Poor Dave felt so scared. Everything seemed to change as the eyebrows took his mind, and tried as they might, he just couldn't fight the urge to do something unkind. Yes, and so these slugs or eyebrows certainly take a bear and other people to task, yes, throughout the story. And we are going to kind of just jump ahead right here. And, we have kind of a elephant theme, going here.
Elephant theme going on too, yeah.
So we have Edna Elephant, eyes opened wide with surprise. She hiccuped and sneezed. Then, kaboom! Out like a shot, all covered in snot, flew the terrible eyebrows of doom. They splashed into the sea, and the crowds cheered, "Yippee! Let's get a book." Let's get back to our nice afternoon. We're safe now, squawked Ron. The eyebrows are gone. Or are they?
We shall have to find out.
We'll have to find out. The eyebrows of doom.
Yeah.
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah, thanks, Rocco.
Yeah, well, my pleasure.
Yeah. Well, next up, we have another book trailer for you. This is from Soaring Kite Books and called Dearest Mama's Loving Arms. Just a beautiful book, which is a celebration of motherhood. And Soaring Kite Press is a new publisher. They've just been around for a little over a year, and now they're being distributed by Lerner Publishing Services, and we're so excited to be working with them here at Publisher Spotlight. And this is a good time to remind people, to comment below to win a selection of all of these incredible books, and also, follow the conversation at a hashtag #PubSpotlight Spring 2022.
Yes.
But let's segue gently into Dearest Mama's Loving Arms.
Let's see it.
Welcome back. I am so excited we get to talk with Kristen Rybrandt, who is the author of Saved by a Whisker. So welcome, Kristen.
Thank you so much.
And please tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, Saved by a Whisker is a book about a cat named Cosmo and his Huma Ella. And Ella and her family are moving. And I don't know if you have cats, but they really don't like moving. They don't like long car rides. And that's how they have to move from their old home to their new home. And in the process, Cosmo gets scared and he gets out of the car and he accidentally gets lost. And the family, and this happens at a rest stop, and the family's looking for him and they can't find him, and they put up flyers. And the book is really about Cosmo's really months-long journey of learning to adapt from being a house cat and everything he knew to living among a colony of feral cats and ultimately trying to find his way back home.
Yeah, And it's based on a true story, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
There's a character in the book named Pam, who is the founder of a cat organization called Saved Whiskers. And she was visiting a feral colony over by a rest stop, and this cat came up to her, which is unusual with feral cats because they're usually really scared of people. And he also had a cough. So she was able to take him to a vet, get medical care, and she brought him home. And then she went back to the area later to kind of ask around if anybody had heard about a missing cat. And this one guy remembered months earlier that a family had lost a cat, and he had their phone number, and
That's
she got
the
in touch.
miracle right
It
there.
really is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an amazing story, and she was able to reunite the family. So
I love happy endings.
I think definitely a happy ending there.
That's wonderful. So in this story, you kind of have a wonderful, whimsical journey for Cosmo, and brought to life by this fabulous illustrator. Do you want to tell us a little bit about
So
that?
Ken Hazer is the illustrator here, and he's worked a lot in comics, but he just did a wonderful job, with like making everything come to life. This is the poster, the missing poster.
Tilt it up that way so people can see it without glare.
And he just did some really cute. Here's another one. He really made the cats come to life and gave them a lot of character. So it was a lot of fun to write about, and a cause close to my heart because I've always liked to. Well, my daughters and I volunteer at a local cat rescue, and a portion of the proceeds will go to Saved Whiskers as well.
Wonderful.
So it educates people a little bit about feral cat colonies because you may never know they're there. The cats are usually sleeping during the day, and they come out at night. They're very shy, So, and these volunteers will go in and give them food, water, vaccinate them, and if there's kittens or friendlier cats, they can get them adopted. So there's
Which
a
is
lot of happy endings in this, really.
Lots of happy. I love to hear tales with happy endings. Tales. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway. Whiskers, tails, all that kind of fun stuff. Well, if you have ever volunteered with a cat shelter or have a rescue pet that you love, comment below, and you might win this book plus some others as well from our amazing book bundle. But Kristen, is there anything that you wish I'd asked you that I didn't that you want to tell us about with Saved by a Whisker?
I think you covered everything.
Yeah. Well, it's wonderful, and this is such a great book for those kids who love cats. I mean, cat stories are clearly a thing today. Yeah, but this is a one to really get them wanting to read and excited about discovering the story. And Cosmo, what a great name for a cat.
Well, we had a cat named Cosmo years ago, so I got to insert favorite pet names into the book, which was also fun for me.
That's one of the most fun things about having a cat is coming up with the name.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, no, my mother named our neighbor's cat Kitty Kitty Bang Bang, and it took years to live that down.
That's cute.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kristen, for sharing Saved by Whisker with us.
Well, thank you so much
good
for
luck
having me.
with
Thank
the
you.
book.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that is Saved by Whisker. That's from Dynamite Publishing, which is a distributed client of Diamond Book Distributors. And next up, I have another book about cats, and you're going to say, "Oh, hi, Rocco."
Hello.
You're
so
back.
did they call him your cat Kitty Kitty or Bang Bang?
Well, that was a neighbor's cat. We didn't have to live with that name, which was kind of a good thing.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, but when they were calling the cat, it was like Kitty Kitty Bang Bang. Anyway, moving on. It's a mouthful. So you're going to look at this and say, that's not the Atlas of Cats?
No.
You're right, it's not. It's the Atlas of Dogs. So this is more your kind of book.
Yes, I'm.
You're
I'm
more the
more
dog
a dog
person. Yeah,
person than a
I'm the
cat
cat person.
Yes.
But coming soon from Albatross Media
Yes.
is the Atlas of Cats. So this is a publisher based in Czechia. So we get to add another country if you're
Yes,
keeping
Czechia.
score.
Yes.
Then there, take a swig, turn it into a drinking game if you want. And the thing I love about this book is it has the information is organized in such an inviting way for kids, and also the illustrations are so delightful. So yes, I know we're looking at dogs, but just imagine this with cats, because the cats will. So you can see how the information's organized, and information about them, information about the breeds, about how to take care of them, a little newspaper about them. And this is when, if Luke and Leah, who are the KidLit TV cats, are up here, on page 38 of the Atlas of Cats, Maine Coons are largely featured. So we'll have to send Julie a copy of the book and get a picture of Luke and Leah with the
on
Maine
page 38.
and page 38
yes.
in the future. But this is Atlas of Cats from Albatross. So I think you've got an Albatross book
I
to
do
share
have
as well.
an Albatross book, and as I said, it's always fun learning so much at these previews. And here we have how the 7 wonders of the ancient world were built. And you know, if you have a favorite ancient wonder, you could put that in the comments and you'll be eligible to perhaps win this book and many, many, many others. So do you have a
Oh,
favorite?
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
what's that?
Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Oh, the
I did a
hanging-
paper on it in 5th
Did
grade.
you?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. And here is all the information about the hanging gardens and the secrets of the garden. Along the way, you pass paths lined with flower beds filled with tons of soil, stunning flowers, and full-grown trees. And you can encounter various water attractions. So there are many, tells us about the person who built it and the
Lots of
foundation.
good STEM information.
Yes, lots, yes. And welcome.
STEAM, actually, art
Steam,
too.
yes, welcome to Babylon, yes.
Okay.
That's what the sign used to say, I guess. Welcome to Babylon. And the Hanging Garden gift
Yeah,
shop.
sure, yeah.
Yes, but another great information.
Colossus of Rhodes. What,
Yes,
yeah,
they're
that's in
all
there,
they're
yeah.
all in there. So we all must have a favorite
Ancient wonder of the world.
Yes, so tell us what
All
it
right.
is, and maybe we'll post the one that got the most comments. So we're already moving right along.
So while we're talking about wonders of the world and traveling around the world, let's talk about Ramadan, shall we? So this is Zara's Blessing, a Ramadan story, and this comes to us from Barefoot Books, which is a publisher that is based here in the U.S. And one of the things I really love about Barefoot is they often will do books in English and Spanish. So this one is actually available in Spanish as well, which is so cool because I don't know any other Ramadan books that are also available in Spanish. I'm sure they exist, but we're adding to their number here. This is a story about a girl named Zara and her mother, and they're finding things in their home that they can take to a shelter for newly arrived immigrants who don't have anything, and they're trying to help. So it's a Ramadan blessing to be sharing their things with them. And during the course of gathering their things up, Zara's teddy bear goes missing. And she can't find it, so she worries about that. But at the same time, her secret wish for Ramadan is to have a sister. So she and her mother go to the shelter, and while her mother is working in the shelter, she meets a girl named Halima, and she and Halima become very good friends. And here you can see them reading. Isn't that beautiful? I just love these illustrations. And as the story concludes, the Ramadan blessing that she gets is she gets a new sister because her parents adopt Halima. Isn't that wonderful? So that is, I gave it away. I should have said spoiler alert. That is Zara's Blessing, a Ramadan story from Barefoot Books. And you've got another beautiful story.
And I have another story that's based on a fact.
Wafat Nazca lived there.
Yes. And it's from Barefoot Books, and it's called Noor's Secret Library. And it's about this girl, and it's during the strife in Syria, and she has an idea to go out into the destroyed homes, etc., and collect the books that she's finding in the rubble, and her friends do the same, and they create a secret library that people actually used. It's a true story. It tells us about Syria. It tells us about the conflict, and it is another way to learn about another place and some of the history there. And so
Great back matter.
Great back matter. Yes, it is. Yes.
And the illustrations are just incredible.
Yes. And
So
now here we
now
are.
you need to find one. Yes.
Yes. Now here we go. This is one showing people moving out of their homes, and yes, but it is it is great illustrations, and you could see, the ruins and how furniture is just tossed all around. Yes.
Yeah. So one thing that I love about this book is that Barefoot did a poster from art from this book.
Did they?
Yes. So if you comment below we will stick a copy of the poster in with that big book bundle.
Gently.
So, yes, gently. We'll roll it up and
Yes,
make sure
right.
it's safe and it
Yes.
arrives in a non-crumpled state.
Yeah, suitable for framing.
Suitable for framing,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
But that is for Noor's Secret Library. And if you're going to be at TLA, come by the Publisher Spotlight booth and you can pick up a copy of the poster too.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah,
When
so
is TLA?
TLA is at the end of April.
End of April.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Oh.
have a few at PLA too. That would be
Who
good.
knows? Yes.
So next up, we have another new publisher, and this is Little Island Books in Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, another.
Another one, yes, another. And Little Island Books has been around for many years. They're the largest publisher of English language books for children in Ireland, and we are so excited to have them here. They have been licensing books into the U.S., but now they're doing their own list. And I'm sure that you would recognize some of the authors they have. Meg Grehan, who did Deepest Breath, has a book with them called Baby Teeth. It's YA. And Rocco's going to tell you about another one, but I'm going to tell you about Wolf's Tongue. This is by Sam Thompson, who was on the long list for the Booker Prize. So he's a well-known adult author, and he did this gorgeous animal fantasy book. And it's about a boy named Silas who stutters and has trouble speaking competently and clearly. And one day he's walking on this path home from school, and he sees this wolf who's got an injured paw, and he helps remove the object out of the paw so that the wolf can get away. And right after the wolf goes away, some foxes come up and say, "Hey, have you seen a wolf?" Silas doesn't even think about the fact these foxes are talking to him at first. It seems very natural. But before he knows it, he's pulled into this conflict between the foxes and the wolves, and he finds his way into this mysterious forest. That's kind of like a Narnia, where he goes through this passageway, and then suddenly he's in this other forest. And of course, he becomes the spokesperson for the wolves. He becomes the wolf's tongue, and it's illustrated, which makes it even cooler. And it's just like, what do you do when you have a fox on your doorstep, right? It has been called the best animal fantasy since Watership Down.
Oh, my.
And it is so beautifully written. And you can read this on NetGalley, so request it on NetGalley, and you can check it out for yourself. But tell us about what you've got
I
there.
have another from Little Island, and it's called Bumblefist, Bumblefizzle, Bumpfizzle.
You're clearly not from the same planet.
Yeah,
as
no,
Bumpfizzle.
the
Yeah.
best on planet Earth. Well, he comes down to science fiction. Bumpfizzle.
Yes.
Comes down and visits Earth and meets Earthlings, I would say. Yes, and and they're all different types, including a baby that leaks from both ends. We all know babies that leak at both ends.
That does happen. That is a thing.
It does, and sometimes it happens all at the same time. But anyway, it is it's more like a journal.
Yes.
Yes, because it's the chapters are dates, and so here he is, actually chronicling his visit to Earth. And here we have a mother, and mothers they're always taking pictures of their babies, and so this is a fun story. Usually it's Earthlings that are going to other planets. This is someone from another planet coming to Earth. Yes.
Yeah, Bruce Koval said it was laugh out loud funny.
Laugh out loud funny,
And Bruce Koval knows from teachers and aliens and all that stuff.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right. Thank
There
you for
you
that.
go.
And I have another middle grade book, illustrated middle grade book to share with you. This one's from Gecko Press, based in New Zealand, and this book originated in Sweden. So we get
Sweden.
some more countries there for sure. And this is a little known fact. The publisher for Gecko Books actually does the translations of the Swedish books herself, and she is really good at it. So Cricket Carlson, man, this is the story of that misfit kid. And Rocco, have you ever had chicken pox?
I did have chicken pox. Yes.
So how many did you have? Did you count them?
It was very painful. I was very old when I had chicken pox. I was in college.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yes. Whoa.
We're not going to talk about his chicken pox.
Okay.
I had one.
You had
so
one?
I had
Oh,
one chicken pox. I had chicken pox.
You had
Cricket
chicken pox.
had 103. And she was so full of chicken pox that she missed 2 weeks of school. And 2 weeks in the school when you're 11 years old is like eternity. So she comes back to school, and her best friend, Noah, is now hanging out with the girls who pretend they're horses all the time and is no longer her best friend. And that is just so disheartening to her, and she's so sad about it. And she has to figure out how to kind of get through with this. It's sad, but it's funny. And then there's also, I mean, fun illustrations. Cricket wants to be an artist like her Aunt Franny. Aunt Franny is dealing with her own issues. She is suffering from depression, and Cricket helps her out. So you can see here where Aunt Franny is just in bed. Cricket's drawing some drawings that will help her kind of snap out of it a little bit and take notice of the world. And in the end, they find, she and Noah become friends again, and they find a beautiful way to help Noah emerge from her depression. I mean, not Noah, Aunt Franny. Aunt Franny is the one who's depressed. Noah was just a little bewitched by the horse girls for a minute. So check it out, Cricket Carlson. Again, this one's also on NetGalley. So if you want to read it immediately, then check it out and request it, and we will approve it.
Oh, there you go.
So-
And I have another gecko.
You do.
And
Yeah.
we have kind of an elephant theme.
We have
go-
elephants and cats.
Yes, yes. And this one is called Elephant Island, and it is by Leo Timmers. Now, that name is familiar.
Yes, it is. It should be.
Yes, and remind us.
So Leo Timmers, Monkey on the Run, was one of the New York Times 10 best illustrated books in 2019.
Yes, and so...
He's Belgian.
And this is out now? Is it? Is
Just
it,
about to come out.
It's just about to come out. So it is eligible perhaps for 2022.
Could be, you know.
You never know.
never know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's elephants get shipwrecked. Who knew that elephants wash ashore on a tiny island and become trapped and need to escape? And the only other person to help them is a mouse, right?
Yeah, well, and then they build this
and they build
amazing structure.
yes to leave the island. But as we said, terrific illustrations by Leo Timmers, right there. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I love. There's
I
actually.
love the elephant. I love this guy. I love this guy.
You like the elephant.
Yes.
I love the illustrations because there's so much detail.
There are.
And you could just get lost in them. You could
Well, I
find
mean-
new details every single time you look at it, and you could look at it for an hour.
Yeah, like that
and
one.
and you know, and there's more than one snake in that picture. Did you know that? You're gonna have to look at it for a while.
Okay.
We'll get back
I
to you
may
on
see
that.
that one. Okay.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
Snakes,
So much to
yes.
explore.
Yeah.
Well, our next publisher also has lots to explore, and has roots in New Zealand as well as in California. So there we go. This is Blue Dot Kids Press, and this was started by Heidi Hill. And Heidi is really important to her that her books are made from sustainable materials, vegetable inks, but also have themes of nurturing the planet, social emotional literacy themes, you know, being mindful of each other and community-based. And this is a story that kind of brings those two things together, the nature aspect, the understanding the natural world, and also taking care of each other. This is I'll take care of you. In this case, we have a seed that is nurtured by the rain and the sun and the earth, and it grows into a tree, and then when it grows into the tree, a bird takes shelter, and it nurtures the bird and the little chick, and they can go forth, and it's just it's a circle of life. It's a beautiful, beautiful circle of life story that I think will work on many, many different levels, and the art is just absolutely stunning. So lots to explore from Blue Dot Kids Press. Yep. So thanks.
And I have a book.
You
from
have a Blue Dot Kids Press,
yes,
too.
Yes, and it's called Just to See. Well, it's something, you know the phrase, more than meets the eye? Mm-hmm. Yes, and there is more than meets the eye when this girl looks out her window and sees a tree that's larger than some others and decides to go out and climb the tree. Yes, but she finds out, here is, speaking of snakes, did you say snakes before? Yes.
I did say
Yeah,
snakes.
there's another,
Yeah.
yes. Here we have a snake that she encounters on her her climb. I'm saying her climb because it's not exactly a tree climb. No. And I
What
don't
could
know.
it be?
What could it be? I don't know. Should we let them know?
Oh,
No.
yeah. No, I think we can reveal that.
We could reveal it.
If you don't want to
Okay.
know, cover your eyes now.
Yeah. Yes. Spoiler alert. Yes. What can it be? Well,
When she gets to the very top, there you go.
this one right here.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
where that's the one.
Yeah, this is it. Yes.
Okay, can it be? There you know it.
there
Okay,
you
don't
go.
say it out loud.
We won't.
Okay, close
Okay.
the book. It's okay to look now.
Okay.
Okay, all
There you
right.
go.
And the next book we have is from Tilbury House. And I don't have a physical copy to show you, but it's called Lion Lights. And I just adore this book. So this is a true story. This is about a boy in Kenya, and he's a Maasai. And to the Maasai, the cow is life. And one of his jobs is to watch over the cattle at night. And while he's watching over the cattle, the lions have been attacking the cattle, and so the villagers are killing the lions because the lions are killing the cattle, and we've got to protect the cattle. Now this is not a good situation, and this boy, he's sad that the lions are being hurt,
Right.
and he realizes that when he's going out to watch after the cattle and he's swinging his flashlight back and forth, it's scaring the lions. They're going away. So he creates a system where he puts lights along the fences that swing, and that scares the lions and protects the cattle. And he is the youngest person in Kenya to have a patent.
Oh.
True story. So that is Lion Lights, and it is gorgeous and inspiring and just an amazing, amazing book.
And informative.
And informative.
Yes.
Yeah, and kids making a difference in the world.
Yes.
And good back matter.
And I have another Tilbury.
You do.
house.
Speaking of good back matter.
Yes,
Yeah.
lots of back matter. And it goes, I begin with Spring, the life and seasons of Henry David Thoreau. And we all know about Walden Pond. And,
We do.
Yes. And this is, it takes you through the seasons, and it tells us about Thoreau and some of the things in nature that he observed.
It always feels to me like you're looking over his shoulder in this
Yes.
book, like while he's doodling in his
yeah.
journals.
It's a great introduction to Thoreau, and again,
It's already gotten some starred reviews.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been over 2 centuries.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, time flies.
Boy, I feel
Mr.
old all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I
and
remember Henry David,
Yes,
though.
yeah, but no, it is it's a beautiful book too. Yes, and it mixes a fact and fact about Thoreau, but facts about nature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
lots to discover.
right, beautiful.
Yeah. And our next book we're going to talk about is another one that is very informative, but it's a little bit further afield than Walden.
I am so upset.
How to teach grown-ups about Pluto, because
Yes.
I'm not letting go of the fact that Pluto is no longer a planet.
Yeah, I think there's a petition out there somewhere.
Yeah, I feel. But this is so fun. This is from Britannica Books, and
who knows about facts then? Britannica.
Britannica is the fact place. So look at the illustrations in this. Is this not the most fun nonfiction book you ever saw? So many different ways to explore the fact that, Pluto is what Pluto is. So we learn about the history, about how it was discovered, about the debate over whether or not it was going to be a planet or not, or whether it is still a planet, and so much more in how to teach grown-ups about Pluto. So it hasn't been a planet since 2006. Did you realize it's been that long? It's been 15 years.
Really?
Since it's been demoted. Yeah.
It's still in my heart.
Yes, never demoted in our hearts.
No, this is true.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's to Pluto.
There's to Pluto.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a continent.
A continent, another
Yes.
continent that we really don't know too much about.
Yeah.
Antarctica.
Learning new things all the time,
Yes,
though.
and it's called Antarctica, the Melting Continent by Karen Roman Young, and it is by What on Earth Books, right?
What on Earth Books? The same ones that did It's Up to Us that we saw the trailer for
Yes,
earlier.
right. Yes, and so the interesting thing about the author is that she was able to actually travel on was it an expedition or
Yeah.
yes, and she stayed there for months.
6 months.
6
And
months.
she had 2 weeks' notice.
2 weeks
she'd been
notice.
talking to them about, while she was working on the book, and they said, oh, somebody dropped out. Do you want to go? So she had 2 weeks notice to make her way to Antarctica for 6 months.
And there are so many facts about people that have things that are connected with Antarctica, and also about life on Antarctica. And here we have the spread, the giant animals of Antarctica. Yes.
Ooh, the charismatic megafauna. Yes.
Yes, another book that will keep curious young readers busy and busy and busy, and have them keep coming back to find out more facts. And one of the Jeopardy champions, when they asked about how he prepared, he said, I read children's books.
Nonfiction.
Yes,
nonfiction.
Nonfiction. And so if you are going on Jeopardy and the category is Antarctica, this is the book you
Pluto,
need. Or Pluto.
Pluto,
Yes.
yeah, we got.
Yes, we could do our own.
The Seven Senses. I mean, yeah.
We can
Seven Wonders of
actually,
the World.
based on this program today, we can create our own Jeopardy board.
Ooh, that's tempting.
Yes.
If you want to help us with that, please mention that in the comments, and then you might also win a big book bundle. So just saying.
May, yes.
Yeah. Well, next up, let's go back to manga classics.
Oh.
It's always fun to talk about the manga classics. And the newest ones are Hamlet and Midsummer Night's Dream. So, but here's a new thing. So these are actually not the full original text. These are modern English adaptations. So for those people who just cannot get into the Shakespearean language, this is a great way for them to encounter the stories. And it uses a lot of the same vocabulary, so you're still going to learn a lot of the vocabulary, plus you're going to learn, ooh, caught that book. You're also going to learn, am I showing these the right way up? Yes, I am. Because these are mangas, so they're Japanese style, so it's, back to front and left to right, right to left, and all that kind of stuff. But you're still going to have an experience of the stories. So these are available. Othello is coming soon. Lots of great stuff from Manga Classics. And another graphic novel that I'm very excited to tell you about is Thunderous, which is coming from Dynamite. And this is by M.L. Smoker, who was the poet laureate of Montana, and Natalie Peters. They are both Native Americans and have tribal affiliations. And this is a story about an early teen who travels to the spirit world and through time, and it's mysterious and beautiful and is going to be amazing. Should be showing up on NetGalley within a month or two, so just keep your eyes peeled for this. I feel like there have been so many amazing First Nations graphic novels and graphic nonfiction that have come out in the last few years, and this is going to be right at home with those. So look for Thunderous from Dynamite.
You mentioned Britannica knowing facts. Earlier, one of the books, and
Who
yes.
else knows facts?
Not facts, knows words.
Oh.
Merriam-Webster.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Word of the day. One of my favorite books, not only for children, but for anyone, because there's a word of the day. And, today is a special day.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. 2/22/22. So that's a lot of twos.
And it reads the same upside down as it does right side up.
It does. Oh.
And back to front.
Yes. And
amazing.
so what
Nerd
word,
alert.
what word is for Tuesday, February 22nd? It is docile.
Oh.
Yes.
Are we just going to accept this Tuesday thing? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are going to. Yes, but it's always good to have the book handy, because every day there is when is your birthday?
My birthday is June 4.
June 4?
I'm not going to say the year.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bamboozle.
Oh, that's a good word. It feels good in the mouth.
Yes, bamboozle.
Yeah.
And I know mine. I know my birthday is April 11th.
I'm so glad you know your birthday.
Yes. They ask me that all the time.
They do, don't they?
They do. Wednesday. But I'm in a whole week of baby animals, and so mine is What is it again?
A Hollis chick.
A Hollis chick, which is a young male fur seal. How do you like that? So there are.
So use that in a conversation later today. That's your assignment.
Yes. But it is a fun book, a book, as I said, for kids and for adults and for any word nerds. Yes.
Word nerds. Did you know that they have a book, 150 First Words for kids, that is a board book?
Yeah, 150.
150 first words. And it has the cutest cast of characters you could ever hope for.
Oh,
it's adorable.
I'm going to get my
you need
hands on
that.
that.
I think Millie needs a copy.
I think both Eli and Millie need copies.
Yeah,
I have
think
too.
so.
Yes.
Everyone under the age of 3.
Yes, needs a copy. Yes.
And then everyone under the age of 130 needs a copy of this one.
This one, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Is that our last book?
Well, not quite, because we have
no.
one more thing to share with you.
What is that?
We have an audiobook clip from Julieta and the Diamond Enigma. The print book was published by Lee and Low, and we have the exclusive clip to share with you from Live Oak Media, who, as we all know, just does the most wonderful audiobooks. So we're going to have a listen of Julieta right
Let's take a listen.
now.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! We're burning daylight here. We need to hurry. We'll miss our flight, I say as I swing the door wide open. Mom and Dad smile at each other, and Mom says,
First, breakfast.
ever since she started eating for 2, she's hyper-focused on meals. Fine, just a quick bite, but we have to hurry after that,
I'll have to make a stop at the museum before we go to the airport.
Dad says.
There are some things I have to take care of before we leave.
A visit to the museum and a trip halfway around the world? This day is getting better by the minute.
Well, Ellen, thank you so much for being here again.
We made it.
Yeah, traveling around the world, so many different spots we stopped, and also so many great books. And I learned so much, and I can't wait to have you come back. But I also can't wait to read all the comments and see who the winner of the book package will be.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. So, please do comment below and follow the conversation, and follow at Pub Spotlight on any of your favorite social media channels to learn about new books coming from around the world. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And we're so glad you joined us here today.
So remember, until next time, read a book in any format.